Hi, this is Jo. I'm just making sure all the correct buttons have been pressed and that we're ready to go. Anyone who's done a webinar knows that it's not the easiest thing in the world. There's lots of things to go on behind the background. So I just want to make sure that we have everything set up correctly. If you are on and you can hear me, can you leave a comment in the comment box? Or if you're in the Mums That Rock group, the post at the top, if you can just tell me that you can hear me in there. And we will get going soon. So I've got the laptop open as well. I can see the Mums That Rock group. And the questions, I need to get the questions up. There is a little bit of a lag. It shouldn't be too bad though. No, the screen's not showing. What's going on? Okay, we're hopefully getting on now, and I'm just trying to make sure that everything is working correctly. That looks good. Okay, if you are on and you can hear me, can you let me know whether you can see anything? There's no video coming up. Come on. Right. Just try this again. Okay, if you can see my page, you know, if you've got some kind of video, can you let me know either in the comments box or if you're in the Mums That Rock group over there? Do I need that one on? I don't think so. Let's have a look. Okay, I can see there's a couple of viewers on, but I can't tell whether you can hear me or not. What's this? Cool. Take this again. Okay, if you can hear me, can you let me know? Why is that not working? Oh, okay, you can see my slides, but not me. I don't know why it's not working for me. Thanks, Jen. Okay, if you can see the slides and you can hear me, that's good. Let me just share my screen again now. For some reason, it's not showing on mine, but it might be because I've got everything logged in. All right, so I'll stay on the questions sheet. Okay, let's get going, because I know your time is valuable, and I thank you for being here and coming to learn. I'm going to fire a lot of information at you, so make sure you've got a notepad and pen with you. Go and grab that now if you haven't. And I'll do questions, but I'll do them at the end because I get awfully distracted if I have to keep looking at the laptop to find the questions and you refresh the page and everything. So if you have questions, you can put them in the box or in the Facebook group and I'll check in there at the end. Be specific about what the question is about so I can come back and answer it and I'll know which section you were talking about. If you just put in some random question that at the end it doesn't make sense, I can't answer it. Okay. So let's get started. So who am I? I'm Jo Ebisujima, otherwise known as Jojo Ebby, because nobody can say my surname. I'm a Brit, I'm in Japan, I've been here about 18 years, and I help moms to get their stuff done, whether it is at home and organising the home and kids, or getting their business off the ground. So if you don't know who I am, go over to my website. I've got a great about page and go and find out more about me. So I have several superpowers. I'm very good at working with time and getting a lot of stuff done in a short amount of time. That's one of my superpowers. I'm brilliant at simplifying things so that people don't get overwhelmed, breaking things down into baby steps and making it easy. And I am great at keeping you accountable and I will kick your butt to make sure you get your work done. Right, enough about me. Let's get on to today's workshop. So this is a simple system and I've tried many ways to use social media, like posting 3 times a day with different types of posts, and I'd have set up little alarms so I didn't forget to do that. And then things like scheduling everything, and then I've tried doing it at random. And I couldn't stick to any of them because they were always too hard to do consistently. And to get good results, you need some kind of consistency. So I wanted something super simple that I could whip up easily and quickly and then use throughout the week, no matter how busy I got with other things. And I also wanted something that wouldn't make me look, spammy or upset the wah of the Facebook algorithm. And you know what I mean when I say that. You've seen people who just dump loads of spammy posts on you or into groups. So I wanted to make sure that the way I was doing it didn't come over as like that, even though it was pre-planned. So the purpose of this plan is to get visible. So this is kind of the modern day networking. So you used to go to a networking event in real life, real people and meet them face to face. Well, these days you can network online really easily and you can reach far more people. I work with people all over the world, people that I would never meet face to face in real life normally. So you can use Facebook ads to do this, and Facebook ads are great, but they can also, you need to spend a decent amount of money to get them going to make sure that they're working properly. And once you have the right ads up and running, they convert well, but you need that lump of money to start with. And if you're just starting out, you might not be in that position, or you might have a chunk of money, but you want to allocate it to something else instead, maybe your branding for your website or whatever. So what if you're trying to get your name out there and to be the go-to person, but you don't want to spend any money? This will work for you. And the Facebook ads are great for driving traffic to specific posts or your opt-in or whatever, but they can't help you network with people. They can't help you communicate and build a relationship, make friends, answer questions, that kind of thing. So this is what this plan will do. So really, we're working on connection. Connect with your ideal client or customer. We want you to connect with people whose businesses complement your business. And we want to connect with people who know your ideal client or complementary biz owner. So that is the kind of thing where, for example, I don't know anything about Squarespace, which is a platform for building your website. I use WordPress. I'm not an expert in any way, shape or form with WordPress. And a lot of people use Squarespace. I can't answer anyone's Squarespace questions, but I know Kathy O'Malley is brilliant at Squarespace. So if I see somebody come up with a question like, oh, I'm stuck with this Squarespace thing, I don't know how to center this image or whatever, I'll say, oh, I know who can help you with that, and I will link them to Kathy. So that kind of referral happens all the time. Once you get your name out there and people start to associate you with a certain thing, so people will refer me for Montessori because that was the first thing I started doing, sort of thing, but also accountability and helping people get things done and getting things done quickly and efficiently. People will refer their friends to me for that too. So that is what you want. You want people to start referring you and getting seen as the expert in your field. So today's schedule, this is what we're going to go through. Where to be visible, go through the different types of posts. So this will make things easy for you because it's no brainer. It doesn't matter what kind of post you're going for. There's a load to choose from, and it just depends what kind of mood you're in when you're writing. How to find the right groups for you. And then I will explain about the 7x7 matrix, which is my little magic time ninja way of doing things. Some golden rules that you really should abide to, and then some things to consider at the end. And then if we don't run out of time, I'll do Q&A right at the end. If you are in the Mums That Rock group, you can ask questions in there. Can you keep them to one post so I can find them? And if you're on the live webinar, then you can ask the questions in the webinar question box as well. Right. So the whole idea behind this is to be helpful and supportive. So you want people to think of you as being a helpful and supportive person. So think about the names that pop up when you are on Facebook. So not your friends, but people you have met through groups. Many of them you won't remember, some will pee you off. Maybe their opinion or attitude annoys you. And then there's others that you really like. And they tend to be the helpful, kind, supportive, sometimes funny, generous, and can often be ranked as an expert in their field. This is what you're aiming for. So when we are on Facebook, there are several places you can be visible. There's your personal profile. Now, it's really important that you abide by Facebook rules because you're going to get kicked off if you don't. Now, I'm not a rule keeper, but I'm also not stupid. So sharing your business posts from your profile is against Facebook's terms and conditions, and they'll shut you down. People can report you and they can shut you down. So it's not ideal to do it from there. The occasional post is okay, and it won't get flagged, I doubt very much, but it can do. So, just be careful. But really, your personal profile is a personal profile. What you should be sharing your business stuff on is your own business or fan page. Now, the only problem with that is that Facebook want you to pay for those posts that you're directing people off Facebook. If you want to send people to your opt-in, or you want to get them signed up for a webinar, or you want them to go and buy something of yours in your web shop, then you're sending them away from Facebook, and Facebook don't like that. So their algorithm doesn't show as many posts to as many people. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword because you're not getting the visibility on your own business page. And I don't think business pages are all they are cracked up to be these days because of this algorithm. Facebook want you to pay for ads, basically. The two other ways are commenting on other people's posts. This is either on their profile or on their business page or in groups. And then finally, there's the groups. Now, Facebook groups rock. I'm saying this right now, things might change, you know, Facebook are not daft, and if they can find a way to monetize the groups, they're going to do it. So today's workshop is about getting visible in groups. Now, I just want to make this clear because this is really, really super important, and it annoys the pants off me when people don't do it. So say you're in a group and you make a few comments, or you see somebody in a group, let's say, and they're making a few comments and you think, oh, they sound really interesting. That's exactly the kind of thing I want to know more about. I wonder if they've got a program, and you want to know about their business, what they do, how you can get in touch with them. The only way to do that, if they haven't provided a link, is to go to their profile, and it's their personal profile. So you click through to their personal profile, but then nada, nothing. You can't find anything about their business. That's really annoying, and I can't even express how many people I have flipped to one side because I couldn't find anything more about them. So there's two places on your personal page. There's your intro. You can put a link in there. The owner at, as you can see here, it's got the owner at Jojo Abbey. That clicks through to my Facebook page, my fan page. And then the other place is your about. So if people click through to that, they can find links to your website or whatever it is that you want to direct your traffic to. Make sure they are set up properly. I'll do another training on that because it'll take too long to do it today. But, you know, just go and look at your profile and check that they're set up. And if you've got your profile completely hidden from the world, how are you expecting to do any business? You know, Facebook is not the place for you to be doing business if you don't want any of your personal profile out there. You can still keep your posts private. No one has to see those, but you need to have these two sections visible so that people can, you know, go onto your website and find out more about you. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time and you're losing business. Okay, let's get on to the different types of posts. One of the things I struggle with is that I'm quite introverted and I can quite easily sit on Facebook and just read posts or answer people's questions but not put out my own posts. And it's because sometimes I worry that, you know, maybe they won't like the post, or maybe nobody will post on it, you know, put any comments on it. You know, there's 1,001 reasons why. And sometimes it's just overwhelming. So having a variety of different types of posts makes it much easier. I think there's 22 or 23 different types of posts I've got listed. And it'll make it much easier for you to be able to just sit down at the beginning of the week and bang out 7 posts. It's simple. So this is when you're making your weekly plan. It's really easy. You can pick and choose the posts to suit your mood or your personality. Some kinds of posts might work better for you than others. You know, if you're a great storyteller, then maybe you want to do more story posts or story-veined posts. If you're a photographer, maybe you want to be doing more visual posts. So the variety is key, and you can mix them up, max them up, change them each week, and it means you never get stuck for something to post about. And it also means that you don't come over as being spammy or somebody who's just consistently promoting their stuff. Right, so the different types of posts. I'm going to do the promo post first because this one is really important. So the pink block at the top, that's your type of post, and the gold one at the bottom is the emotion that you're trying to evoke through your post. So think about that when you're writing your post. What kind of emotion are you trying to get people to feel when they read your post? So promo posts come in many different forms. It can be like in your face, buy this now post, or it can be, you know, the offer closes in 12 hours. They tend not to go down so well because people don't want to be sold at. But you can also do like teaser posts or snippets of what's to come, or playing on the fear of missing out. Those kind of posts will get you clicks. You also need to be very, very aware of the group rules, and I'll keep harping on about this because it is really important. It'll get you kicked out of groups if you don't follow the rules. And don't be slimy trying to get around the rules with fake posts. People can see through them. So, you know, be genuine. If it says no promos, no promos. So I'll go into the rules a little bit more, but make sure that you're not breaking the rules, because not only will you get kicked out of the group, but you're going to miss out of getting in front of a lot of people. So other kinds of posts, the stories. So you can use a story to elicit some kind of response. It can be something that happened to you. It could be a win for your client. It could be something you once heard, or a spin on a storyline from a book or a film. Rebecca Tracy from Uncaged Life does this really well. There's this example the other day. She posted that she'd got a speeding fine, and she talked about the fine and then how she span that into something positive and discounted her course for 2 people. She gave her course away for 2 people at half price, which paid for her fine, but it also meant that 2 people who perhaps couldn't afford her course could do it because it was at 50% off. So, you know, it could be some kind of inspiration. It could be making people feel angry or upset, or some kind of reaction so that you get a conversation going. So there's many, many different ways of writing a story post. Photos, these are great and they're easy to do, especially when you've got, you know, like an iPhone or something. So people like to share their experience, share your experience too, and have a peep into your life, because people buy from people. So showing a sneaky look behind the scenes of your own life, they feel like they're getting to know you. Now, Denise Duffield Thomas does this really well. She does lots of like cute shots of her baby and her little girl, and asks questions as well. So you need to be asking questions, putting in a call to action. So having a sneak peek into your life, and this works well, you know, if you're taking photos and using on Instagram, you can also recycle them and use them on your Facebook as well. Okay, inspirational quotes. Now, a lot of coaches use these. I'm not a massive fan. It's just not something that sits with me particularly well. But, you know, this is definitely horses for courses. If inspirational quotes do it for you, go for it. They're very, very popular. You see them all the time. They're easy to make and you can batch them. So I recommend, if you're going to do this, make a pile of them in one go, maybe make 10. And then there's lots of apps you can use. You can do them on your phone. So you can take your own photos and then slap a quote on top of it. Canva, you can do it. Adobe Spark has just been released. That's a great app. And remember to brand them. Now, again, this is where you're going to have to be careful with the rules. Putting your website name or your the name of your website or whatever on the photograph that you're sharing might break the promo rules. So I'm in one group, Freedom Hackers. That's not allowed. You're not allowed to have any kind of name or whatever on the image that you're promoting if it's your own. You can still brand your photos without having your name on them. So if you have got a strong branding colours, so mine are these pink, you can see the 3 colours that I use on this slide, so the pink, the gold and the teal. So by using maybe the text in those colours or putting a frame in those colours, I'm still branding them, but I'm not breaking the rules. You know, it's kind of just on the edge. So you can still brand your pictures without breaking the rules. Some groups, it doesn't matter if you've got your name on there, and if there are your own photographs, it is a good idea to have your pictures watermarked. So again, you just need to be a bit careful not to be breaking any rules. Okay, number 3, tips. So sharing a tip that will be useful and to the people in the group and your ideal client. So sometimes you'll be in a group where your ideal client hangs out, but the the focus of the group isn't just about that. So maybe maybe you're a raw food chef, and I'll use this example a lot, and you're in a yoga group. So you might have a tip which helps everybody, and that's great. But you know, because you're a yoga chef, no, you're a yoga chef, you're a raw food chef. You don't want to be just posting raw food all the time. You want to be helping everybody. And in that way, your ideal client will be mentally making a note that you're a useful person to work with, and other group members will see you as being generous too. And the emotion that you're evoking there is gratitude. Oh, gone the wrong way. Recommendations. Again, this gets you seen as being helpful and kind. People are grateful, especially if you're sharing somebody else in the group. So maybe they've helped you with something and you're recommending them. Maybe you've hired somebody to do your graphics and you recommend them. Or maybe you found a great website or an app. Share those. It's easy. A little tip, I haven't got it written down, but when I am just, you know, surfing Facebook, if there's something that I think would be great to share in a group, I just use the save option. And then when I'm doing my marketing on a Monday, I go back and pick up all those posts and drop them in. It's super, super easy. Advice. So this can be giving advice or it can be asking for advice. Either way, it's going to start a conversation and it's going to get your post near the top where everyone can see it, and that's what you need. And again, it's going to evoke gratitude. Get to know you posts. I love these type of posts because I'm just nosy. So you can do this in many different ways. Simple questions to get to know people. And it can be something as simple as, where in the world are you? Or do you prefer tea or coffee? Are you a morning person, a night owl? And this can be useful to probe your avatar, your ideal customer, to find out more information about them as well. And intros also fall into this. You know, if you just joined a group, introduce yourself. Now this picture I've got here, there is an image of my website on there. So this would break promo rules in some groups, but it's fine in others. So again, you've got to be careful. This is building a connection. And it's getting the conversation started, and you'll find out about people. And even if you are not making a client straight away, there might be some connection there that, you know, you went to the same university, or maybe your grandmas grew up in the same town and suddenly you've got some kind of connection. And these are the things that you're going to build on. Okay, a brag. You have to do this tastefully, and it doesn't have to be, look, hey, I made 10K last month and I got engaged to Ryan Gosling and I've got a pet unicorn type of brag. You know, the ones that make you want to get a bucket and throw up when you read it. Bragging can be done, and it can be done tastefully, and it can be done with fun. So Brandon does it really well. If you don't know Brandon, he does these wax crumbles. He just turned 20. He makes 10K a month, but he doesn't go bragging about it. You know, he's a great kid. If you have got a product-based business, go and follow Brandon, because he gives out so much information and he's just really, really generous. He's a great kid. So his brag is like foaming at the mouth, waiting for 8K. And he's talking about followers on Instagram. So this kind of brag is like, it's a fun brag. And again, it gets the conversation going. It gets people going over to his Instagram to see if they can be number 8,000, that kind of things. People want it. And it evokes some curiosity as well. Caption this. This is another fun one. So all your posts don't have to be about your business. Sometimes it can be just to get a conversation started, you know, especially at the end of the week when people are tired. You don't want to be shoving your business down the throat. You just want to be kicking back and showing what kind of fun person you are too. So this is just a fun way to get a conversation going. Try and pick an image that your target audience will relate to. and just have some fun with it. And you can use your own images, which are the best because you own the copyright. Find a copyright-free image on the internet, or if there's loads of those memes, however you say it, those kind of things you can do, but put your spin on it as well. Okay, videos. I hope I'm not going too fast. This can be your own video. Again, don't break the promo rules. I know I keep saying this, but it's important. Or you could be posting a video that you found on YouTube and asking a question or sharing your opinion about it. Or it could be something like a TED Talk. They're great for getting information. So going back to sharing a video that you found, if you must have seen this week Chewbacca Mom, who had gone to Coles, bought this Chewbacca mask for herself, put it on in the car, laughs hysterically. She's brilliant. I love this mom. So sharing this post and saying why you love this person, she didn't care that people were looking at her thinking she was funny. She didn't care that she bought this, kid's mask and is keeping it for herself. And so I found the video very uplifting, and it's the sort of thing that I try and get my mums to do, do something fun for yourself. So I could relate to this video, and I can relate it to my clients or my potential clients. So that kind of thing is great. It could be the other way, where you're trying to polarize an audience, and something that you really hate. It could be, I don't know, animal cruelty or something. I personally don't like posting negative stuff. I prefer to be in my own little positive bubble. That is me. That's what I prefer. You do whatever rocks your world. And then TED Talks, they are great as well. And this is really, really good way of finding your ideal clients. Because if you post something that talks to your ideal client, and you can talk about it and get into a conversation about it and how you could help them with this issue, that's a good way for them to find out more about you, make a good connection with you. And some people won't agree with what you say. That's fine. Some people will, and some people will come on and pay you because they like what you're saying. Non-promo offers. Now again, you've got to be careful, but this is basically where you offer to help or give something for free. So as long as it doesn't break the promo rules, it's a great way to position yourself as an expert. So you could go into a group and say, right, I've had a client call cancel for the next 30 minutes. I'll answer all your questions about SEO. Or this girl is reading your auras or whatever, pick a card and she'll tell you, I don't even know how all this works. She'll tell you whatever. So this is a good way to, show off your expertise, show that you know what you're talking about, and just basically giving, and that's a really nice thing to do. Quiz or opinions. These are kind of overlap a bit. And with all the different posts, there is some overlap with different types of posts. So it's not clear cut, but I try to separate it out to make it easy to understand. So you could link to an external quiz, and we've all done them. What kind of 80s pop star were you, or what color is your personality, or whatever. So you can link to an external quiz, but add some blurb to the post, make it into a question, put your spin on it. Or you could make your own quiz. You could use the survey function and make a multiple choice questions. Would you rather have dinner with Brad Pitt, Johnny Depp, or Ryan Gosling? It can be fun. It can be something just to get the conversation going. Or you could be asking for kinds of feedback for your product. So say you're writing a book, put up 3 book titles that you're considering and get people to comment on them. You know, which one do you think is best? I see a lot of posts which are images, and you know, this is going to be my new book cover. Which color scheme do you prefer, or which image do you prefer? And that's another way of kind of getting your product out there in front of people and getting feedback and getting people seeing what you're doing, so that it's kind of like a promo, but it's sort of in the grey area. Okay, stop, drop, do this. I love these posts. Again, they're just for fun. And the one that I use the most often is the stop, drop, post your last picture on your phone. And this is fun. It gets the conversation going. You talk about what the pictures are. Yeah, just fun, really. You're including people. And I find with these type of posts, people will join into these type of posts where sometimes they don't join into the others. So it's a no-brainer. It's easy for them. They don't have to think about anything. They don't have to worry about what they're writing about. So it's easier for people that are kind of shy or introverted, or who don't often post, you know, a bit of a lurker. They are more likely to post on these type of posts. So it's a great way to include your shy people. Yeah, so to stop, drop, post your last photo. But you could do other things. It could be stop, drop, and tell me the book that you're reading. Stop and drop and post a selfie. Stop and drop, show me what you're eating. Various different ways you could do this. Okay, questions. This can be asking for help, or you posing a question to help people. So if such and such is happening to you, how can I help you? If you're building your own website, what do you get stuck with? It's a good way to find out where your ideal clients are struggling, and a good way for you to position yourself as an expert in your field. Fill in the blanks. These are easy, they're fun, and they're very, very adaptable. It doesn't matter your field, what your niche is, you can use these. So I recently used this one in several groups, and it was amazing to see the different kinds of responses from the different types of groups. I found it absolutely fascinating. So the question was, if I had an extra $1,000 a month, I would spend it on ... And so the group mindset came into this. One of the groups I asked, they were saying mainly, they're all entrepreneur business groups, but one group would be investing in their business, paying off loans. Another group would say they would use it for travel and savings. So the different groups have different feelings, and it's a good way to find out what kind of questions are going to work well in each group. So the mindset of the group, if you like, the vibe of the group. Sometimes groups can be very negative. I don't tend to hang out in those because I find them very draining. Some groups move very quickly, some groups move very slowly. It depends how many people are in the group and how active the group is. Memes, I don't even know how you say this, but it doesn't matter. These again for fun, but they're good to get the conversation going, and because lots of people comment, your post gets. And again, you're making connections, you are asking questions, you're finding out about these people, and you might discover that you've got your ideal clients answering your questions in there, especially if they've got the similar kind of sense of humor or whatever. So the memes that need an answer work best. So you could try making your own, or just get onto Google and find ones that have gone viral, and you can use those because they always pop up again. It doesn't matter if they were all over the internet 2 weeks ago, then you want to leave it for a little bit longer and then revive it. So like this one, this guy breaks into your house, the object on your right or left is your weapon. Comment what it is and if you're screwed or not. Okay, so if this was me, I would be hitting this zombie with my laptop, which I wouldn't be very happy about. But that would get the conversation going. Okay, what kind of laptop do you have? Oh, I've got a Mac, and connection. Infographics, just let me get a drink. So these are a great way to pass on a lot of information in a small bite, so that you could be using infographics that you've made yourself or something that relates to your industry. You know, and then again, put your spin on it, ask your opinion. Do you agree with it? Do you not? Ask your people, do they agree with it? Do they not? And again, you have gratitude because you're giving out good information, but again, you're also starting a conversation and getting people talking about your area, your niche, your zone of genius. Testimonials. Again, you have to be careful that it doesn't cross any promo lines. Testimonials are great to post in your own group, and they can also come under a brag, depending how you word it. It could be a video, it could be a quote, it could be a few lines that your clients have written about you, or an email that you've had. There's loads of ways to share a testimonial. This evokes curiosity. People want to know what it was that you've done to help them. And it also shows that you know what you're talking about because people are raving about you. So that's great both ways. Gratitude. Often you see gratitude posts at the end of the week, but you know, I'm a bit of a rebel, so I often post them at the beginning of the week or just random times. Showing your gratitude for something, and it could be somebody that's helped you out. It could be some kind of training or service that you've used. It could be somebody who shared something with you that's, you know, saved your neck. So whatever it is, it's great if you, for an example, Laura Hudson helped me out a few weeks ago, and she went above and beyond what she needed to do. She came into my website, had a good poke around, tried to help me figure out what the problem was. You know, and she was in the middle of moving house. She didn't need to do that at all. But I was eternally grateful. I will be directing people to her when they need help with OptimizePress. And I just put up a post in a couple of the groups that we both in saying, you know, this girl rocks. Go and find out more about her. She can really help you with OptimizePress. So being grateful and sharing your gratitude is a great way to, you know, help other people and show respect for the person that's been helping you, if that's the kind of gratitude post you're putting up. Rants. So ranting, I think really for a rant to work, it needs to be a lesson in disguise. So let it out, tell people what's annoying you, use it sparingly because you don't want to get a reputation for being, you know, that crazy ranty chick. And these posts are good for polarizing your audience and weeding out your true fans and the people that really are fit for whatever it is that you do. Kimra Luna absolutely rocks, and she often does rants, but she also gives a lot of great information all the time. She's really, really generous. And her rants are always lesson-based. So she'll be ranting about something, you know, why is it people do this, blah, 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 blah. If they did this, it would make all the difference. So they're kind of positive rants, if you like, if you can have such a thing. As you can see, this little screen grab I took, she's had 4.6 thousand views for her little rant. So now we've got live streaming. You can do live streaming rants as well. I think with etiquette, you shouldn't be live streaming into other people's groups. That seems a bit rude unless you've had permission to do so. Especially if you're going in and ranting, that's probably not the best thing to do. So ranting, you're teaching something and you're gaining the right kind of audience, and there's some kind of solidarity going on, or you're peeing people off, and that's fine because they're obviously not your people. Personal service announcements. These are great because people thank you for them, especially if you're saving their butt. You know, it's Mother's Day coming up, or it's Father's Day coming up, or don't forget to turn your clocks back, anything like that. Things like make sure that you've got a link in your Facebook profile so people can find your website. Anything that's like a little tip or help, or it's going to stop people from losing face or losing money. These are great things to share. So this will evoke some kind of gratitude. Yes ladders. Now, people either love or hate these. This is where you ask a question, you want some kind of response, and you ask for a call to action, a CTA, for the reader to comment on the post. And these work really, really well because every time somebody puts a comment, it bumps the post to the top, and then it gets more views. So more people comment on it and it gets bumped up again. So a lot of people hate yes ladders, especially when they're kind of slimy. Slimy yes ladders. So what I'm trying to say is you've got to be very, very careful on how you use them and how you word them. So these are banned in a lot of the business groups I'm in, and it'll be something like, let me think of a bad one. I'm a SEO expert. If you would like my ebook on 10 best ways to do SEO on your website, put SEO rules in the comments. Okay, I've just made that up off the top of my head. And then you'll get all these comments because people want your SEO workbook. And then you go back and either give them the link so they can go and download it. And obviously what you're doing is making them opt in so they can download it. Or you will send them a private message, a PM with the link, the same thing. And this is why people don't like them. It's because it's a way of getting around the promo rules. You're not actually posting your links in there, but you are promoting yourself. It's kind of a workaround, and I think it just annoys a lot of people. So you have to be very, very careful. But sometimes you can do it. I did it for this workshop. I asked in a couple of groups, I'm like, look, I'm thinking about doing this free workshop. Is it something you'd be interested in? I'm not sure. It's not really the thing I do normally, but I'm happy to share. If you're interested in it, just let me know. And if there's enough interest, I will put it together. And so there were a lot of people saying, yes, I'd love to know more, blah, blah, blah. Some people asking questions. Is it going to cost me any money? Do I need to do Facebook ads for it or whatever? So again, it depends how it's worded. You've got to be careful about it because you might annoy people. Have a look at the kind of posts that are already posted in the groups that you're in and see whether it's something that's accepted or not in that group. And if you're with any type of post, if you're not sure, ask the admin before you post it. So this makes people curious, they're inquisitive, they want to know more. Right, so we've gone through the different kinds of posts. The next thing you need to know is how to find the right groups. So what you need to think about is, where does your ideal customer hang out? Which groups is he or she a member of? Is there a big overlap with the groups that you've picked? So for example, I am in B-School, and a lot of B-Schoolers are also in Freedom Hackers, and they're also in, say, Uncaged Lifers, and they're also in Lucky Bitch. If there's too much of an overlap, the system that I'm going to show you is perhaps not the best way to do it. So you need to find groups that don't have so much of an overlap. There's so many groups out there. This is really easy to do. You don't have to worry about it. And are you in direct competition with the group owner? Because you don't want to be doing that. You don't want to annoy people. You don't want people to think that you are coming into their group to poach their people. You know, if you have your own group, you know how hard it is, how much hard work goes into setting the group up, getting people in there, getting people talking and things in there, making it an active group. If somebody comes in and starts poaching your potential clients, you're going to get, you're going to pee people off, so don't do it. It's just polite. So how to find the groups? There's two really simple ways that I use, and there probably are more ways, but these are the ones I tend to stick to. First is just put whatever it is you're interested in, whatever your niche is, into the search box with groups written on the end. So, for example, raw food groups, and it brings you up a load of groups. As you can see, some of these are big groups. There's 11,000, 26,000, 37,000. They're great. That's 37,000 potential customers you can get in front of. You know, this is amazing because it's not costing you anything. So go in, find, grow. You need to look around a bit. You need to find the feel of the group. Is it the kind of group that you want to be in? Like I said, some groups are very negative. You might not want to be a member. Some groups are, really good. You'll find that you'll find groups that fit with you, that fit your jive. I've got favorite groups that I always go to. There's some that are on my list that I pop into because I know my ideal clients are in there, but they're not really my favorite group. So try them out. You don't have to stick with the same groups. You can switch them in and out, and as you monitor your results, you can see whether certain groups are working for you or not, and if not, find another group. There's hundreds of them out there, thousands. So that's the first way. The second way is to stalk your ideal client. So find somebody that is your ideal sort of client. And I've got a few people that I absolutely adore working with. They are my perfect client. I absolutely love working with them. And what I would really like to do is clone those people. And obviously that's not possible. So go and find their personal profile, and if it's available, some people have their profiles closed so you can't see them. If you're friends with them, you should be able to. And go and check out the more bit. So on their profile, you've got like the timeline, about, friends, photos, and then more. Click on more, and there's two bits you need to look at. There's likes, and that will give you an idea of the different pages and places that they hang out on. And you can find out more about complementary groups where your ideal client will hang out. And the other one is to look for is groups. Find out which groups they're already in. And again, there's going to be some crossover there, and your ideal client is probably hanging around with more people that are your ideal client. So follow those up. Go and join the groups, find out whether you like them and whether your ideal clients are in there. All right, golden rules. Now, these are the things that you should and shouldn't do. Pay attention to each group's rules. Now, Facebook has got its own set of rules that you've got to abide to, no posting pornography and da-da-da-da. So obviously you've got to stick to those, but each group, the group owner decides on the rules. So if you're not sure what the rules are, ask the group admin and find out. There's 4 places where the group rules tend to be. And again, it depends on how organized the group owner is, or where they might be only posted in one place, they might be posted in all 4. So that's the file section. There might be a document in there with the rules in. It could be the pinned post. This is the most popular place to find the rules, the post pinned at the top. If you're on the desktop, it says pinned post, it's up there at the top. If you are on a mobile, often you have to click to find the pinned post. Your header photo, some people list the rules in there, and the description of the group. Again, a lot of people use that to post the rules. So check the rules out for each group and make some notes on what they are and what day they allow promos, if they do, and if it has to be on a thread, or whether you can just post your promo always on a Thursday or something. So your golden rules: don't copy and paste the same post into several groups at the same time. The Facebook knows that you're doing that, and it will penalize you, and it will show your post to less people. If you follow the matrix that I'm going to explain about soon, it won't happen anyway. Use the 1 to 3 rule. So for every post that you put up, comment with helpful comments on 3 other posts. So I tend to pop in early in the morning and post on like my 7 groups that I'll explain about in a minute. I'll go into those groups and write comments, share some information on other people's posts. So I'm making sure that I'm visible all the time. And be respectful in a group that's not your own. Don't go in with the intention of competing and stealing, members from the group. And rather than competition, compliment the group owner. So if you're a raw food chef, don't go into another raw food chef's group to steal their people. Instead, find a group that would complement yours. So it could be, like yoga or vegan group, something like that. Right, the 7 by 7 matrix. This is the magic bit. I know there was a lot of information, but you need that to get this to work properly. So, you need the whole lot. So we will post 49 times a week minimum. And I know that sounds like a lot, but don't panic. You only need to write 7 posts plus your promo post. So you will write 7 posts. You'll post them 7 days a week. That's 49 posts. So the matrix. I know this is genius, isn't it? Why didn't you think of that? Because I thought of it first, that's why. So don't include your own group. You can use the post that you write to post in your own group. You can post 1 a day, but don't use your group in your list, because you're trying to get in front of other people that will come to you, and the people in your group are already in your community. You're trying to find people who are not yet in your community and get them over to you. So you will have your 7 groups that you've picked out, and then you will pop in the promo information on the groups that have it. So for this, maybe the raw foodies, these groups are totally made up, by the way. Raw foodies, you're only allowed to promote on a Tuesday, and it has to be on the special thread. A lot of groups have this rule, so it's worth paying attention to. Whereas healthy food bloggers, you can promote yourself any day on those. So pop in maybe twice a week. It's a big group, 20,000 people, twice a week, that's fine. You're not going to overdo it if you're doing that. So first of all, you get your matrix and you pop in your promotion days. And then you've got your list of different types of posts that I've just been through. So your story, work-life photos, blah, 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 blah. And at the start of each week, and I always do mine on Monday, sit down and write 7 posts. So it doesn't matter which ones you're picking, whatever comes to you, whatever's easy, just make it easy. If it's easy, you're going to get it done quickly. So if you've got a story, something that's popped up to, and you think, oh, that'd be a great post, write it down. If you've got a tip, if something that you've saved early in the week, make that into a post. If you took a photo and it would be a great thing to share, save that into a post. And I use Google Sheets to do all this. So it's very, very easy. You just go in and you bang down 7 posts, plus whatever it is that you're going to be promoting. So that needs to be an extra post. So then you will have your 7 posts, your 7 types. So your orange is your stories, your red is get to know you, and you can color code these any way you like. I like to use the color because it's bright and it's easy to understand, and it's very, very quick and easy for me to follow. So you've got your 7 posts with 7 different colors. And then you go back to your matrix. You've got your 7 groups, 7 days of the week. Your promos are already in there, and you drop the colors in. So on a Monday, you're going to do stories in Raw Foodies. You're going to do it on a Tuesday for yogis in Japan. You're going to do it on a Wednesday for Vegan Hippie. You're going to do it Thursday for raw vegan and raw food mama. Friday, you're going to skip because that's a promo day. Saturday, you're going to skip at Green Mama because that's a promo day. Sunday, you're going to do it in Raw Food Magazine. And then you take your second, wrong way, your second one. I've done these the wrong way around, but say Get to Know You. Or photo. We'll just do photo. And you drop that in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all the way through. And you can see the pattern going down diagonally. This means that by the time you drop them into your whole matrix, you are dropping your posts one day a week, something different every day. So it's a good mix. You're not overlapping. You're not posting the same post in different groups, but it's going to come up on your Facebook page that you're posting the same thing each time if you do that. So you're getting it all mixed up. You're not going to upset the Facebook the algorithm, and you're not going to annoy people by posting the same thing in different groups. But if they're in the same groups as you, having the same post come up 6 times, it's really annoying. So this is your plan for the week. Then all you need to do is have this set up in your Google Sheets. If you use Google Sheets, you can access it from any device. So you can do it while you're on the go, you can do it while you're at home, whatever. And then you have your type of post. So all you need to do is you look at Monday and you're like, okay, story. So you go to your story, you copy, and you go to the first group, whatever it was, Raw Foodies, and you paste your post in there. Then you go to tips and you post that in the next group. Then you go to advice and you post that in the next group, and so on. It takes like 5 minutes to copy and paste these and dump them in the various groups. So then it's done. And that is it. So because you've done this, you've already got the post written. It reduces any anxiety because you don't have to think. At this point, all you're doing is copying and pasting. It's easy. It's a no-brainer. You don't have to think about it. So don't forget, though, to go back to your posts and interact with commenters. So it's all about making connections. It's all about talking to the people. And if it doesn't break the promo rules, you can use your own hashtag, like hashtag JoJoEbby, so you can find your posts easily. And don't worry if a post bombs. It could be the time of day. There's like 101 reasons why people don't comment on your post. There could be something really important going on. There could have been a bombing somewhere and people's attention is on that and not on your post about dog fleas. So don't get upset. Make a note of the ones that do really well, because you want to repeat that kind of formula. Ones that bomb on a regular basis, maybe you need to change something there. So keep an eye on what's going on, but don't fret about it. But do remember to go back and check your comments, have a conversation with the people who are commenting. So a few things to consider. What time of day are your groups the most active? This will depend where you are, who your people are, what the group is for. Mom groups tend to be active at a different time of day than business groups. So this is something that you need to work out by yourself. I can't give you a formula. I can't say, go and post at 6 p.m. in this group because that's when it's the most active. It depends totally on your people, your groups that you're in. How big and active the group is. This you need to pay attention to. There's a couple of groups that I'm in that have less than 1,000 members. One of them is really, really active, and so posting every day is fine. It doesn't look spammy. Another one is not so active, but my perfect people are in there, but I don't want to be posting every day because I don't want to annoy the person who runs the group. and I don't want to be seen as spammy. So with that group, I tend to post maybe 3 or 4 times a week, my own post, and I go in there and I answer questions and things as well. So that is something to consider as well. If it's a really, really active group, then you can probably post twice a day. Did you include a call to action, your CTA, in your post? You know, ask them, tell me in the comments what you think. You know, tell them what you want them to do. Are there a type of post, are there a type of post that does better than others? Like I just said, keep an eye on that. Sometimes some kinds of posts don't work in some groups. There's no hard and fast rule. It depends who's in the group, blah, blah, blah. So just be aware of that. And what was the interaction like? You know, are your posts resonating? Are you annoying people? Do they do better in one group than another? If they all bomb, then maybe it's something that you wrote. Maybe it was just really bad timing. With posts that bomb, it's worth reposting them at a different time of day to see what happens. So it's all about experimenting too. And then this is kind of the cherry on the top. So apart from the matrix, which is really easy to do and will get you out there, that's 49 posts every week if you do it every day. That is really easy, but also to get yourself out there, use the search function and in the group and search your keywords. So say you're an SEO expert, put in SEO and answer the questions and give tips to those needing help. Comment on posts, even if it's not your zone of genius, because your point of view is still valid. It's still important. Share and help whenever possible, because that's a nice thing to do. But it's also psychologically, people will want to return the favor when you need help. And if you fall off the wagon, if you don't post for 3 days because your kid's been throwing up everywhere, it's no problem. It's no big deal. It's not the end of the world. Just start again from today. You know, it's not a big deal. So that is it. Oh, just on the hour. So that's really good. If you've got any questions, you can come over to the Mums That Rock group. So if you're not in the group and you're a mom and you rock, come over. It's on Facebook. It's a free group. It's just a free community. You can come and ask me questions in there anytime. So if you're watching the replay for this, you know, come in and ask questions. If you want to get this training with all the templates and everything, I'm going to put it up for sale, so keep your eye out for that. It'll be free for 48 hours, then I will be putting it up for sale, but I'll include templates and things with it as well. Otherwise, I'll just have a look to see if there are any questions. Okay, Jen said, I have covered it, but she said, thoughts on posting the same post simultaneously on multiple channels or multiple groups? Yeah, don't do it. So this, what I've been talking about, the matrix, this will prevent you from doing that. You're not going to be posting the same thing. You are going to be posting the same post, but not at the same time. So it'll be done over several days, and that's cool. No more questions on there. I'll just check the Facebook group. Oh no. Okay, I'm just going to wrap it up there, and hopefully the replay has worked. So thank you for joining me, and ask your questions over in the groups, and I will see you soon.